Yo, what up everybody? I'm going to do today's video a little differently. I'm going to do it while I'm driving. Typically I just do my vlogs that I do monthly on my Patreon this way. But I figure I would go ahead and do this one since I'm having to head to the store and stuff. And it'll keep me from rambling too much. But today I'm doing a book review of SAVY's One Final Vinyl. I was part of her street team and got an art copy of it and read it. And, you know, I had filmed a book review right after reading it, and then I had planned on releasing it, you know, upon book release, which was this past Friday. But I don't know what happened to that video. I had it recorded, saved, so here's attempt number 2. When she first kind of announced it, that she was looking for a street team and some art reviewers and stuff for her book, I was kind of interested because of the premise of the story. I typically don't read a lot of young adults or anything like that, and it is, but just the premise of it, like the actual story, it's about this teenage girl, you know, graduation and stuff, and she goes on this wild road trip, in a sense, with this 90-year-old woman, and I was like, that's kind of cool. You know, I'm under the impression I like old people because usually they just don't care, and they're just like, yeah, they'll say whatever, do whatever. They've lived life, they've earned to be able to just not give a fuck. So I was like, yeah, that'd be cool. And I'm kind of thinking in my mind it's going to be kind of like Harold and Kumar go to White Castle or something, you know, that kind of wild road trip, mixed with like Golden Girls or something. I was like, this is gonna be fun, it's gonna be interesting. That is not really what I got out of the book. I will say I did enjoy the book. I liked it, but it's not what I initially thought it was going to be, just because, you know, that's stuff I liked, and that, which I knew it wasn't going to be that crazy since it is young adults. I knew it wasn't going to be very explicit and all this kind of stuff, but, you know, I was still thinking, you know, getting into different mischief and stuff like that, when in reality it's more stopping at like a diner and this and that, and there's good storytelling there. The characters were well developed. I did like the characters. The main character they follow is Emma, and then Daisy is the 90-year-old woman. She kind of believes Emma to be Edna. You kind of find out that she has like Alzheimer's or something, where you kind of lose your memory, or at least your short-term memory. You can remember stuff from a long time ago, just not anything that's happened recently and stuff. And that kind of plays in part, and she keeps believing that Emma is Edna, which name-wise, I mean, that's kind of similar. I could kind of get those two confused if you knew somebody named Edna and then you meet Emma and you're kind of old and you might get those names mixed up. But it's not just believing that's her name, she's actually believing that is her, to some degree. But Emma is a teenager who's just graduated high school, kind of been a loner mostly. She does have some friends, but she's still kind of, you know, mostly a loner type, you know, quiet, whatever, kept to herself. And she's like an old soul in a teenage body. She likes a lot of, you know, classical music, not classical like Beethoven in a sense, but more, you know, classical rock, Nirvana, Pink Floyd, stuff like that, you know, stuff that people nowadays think of classical, you know, 70s, 80s music or whatever, vinyl records and stuff like this. So she can kind of connect with Daisy on that level, like their tastes of music and stuff are similar, and they kind of bond like that, and they progress, and Daisy in a way kind of helps Emma become more open, I guess, with her friends. She has like this crush or whatever, and she kind of in a way helps with that, and her friends, and just kind of different things in that nature, I guess, as well as, you know, Emma kind of learns more about Daisy and like her family and this and that, her ex-husband, and how they used to go dancing a lot, and just different things like that. So the story is more of a bonding type ordeal. It wasn't as much mischief as what I had thought. There is one downside to the story that I didn't really care for. It was a slight hindrance to me, and that was there was a lot of flashbacks. Like something would happen in the present day narrative, and then you'd go into this long flashback of something, how that relates to Emma's past or something, whether it be with her friends or whatever. And you got that a lot. I get the idea, it's kind of nostalgic and this and that, and that's kind of the premise of the story. But I felt at times that was done too much. And it just kind of took me out of the story, because I would kind of get into that and then just go right back to present day. I'm just like, okay, I could have done without that flashback. So it was kind of one of those, you know. But even then, the flashbacks were well written or anything. There's nothing bad about the flashbacks, just not a choice I would have done. I just felt like it was just kind of not as necessary. But again, you know, I know it adds to the nostalgic feel, and reminiscing and this and that, and I know that also well. But you know, I just felt like for that story I could have done without as much. But with that being said, I did enjoy the book. I rate it 4 stars. I think if it didn't have as much flashbacks or as long of segments of the flashbacks, I probably would have rated it 5. But at times I did find myself just kind of getting bored reading the flashback, because I felt a lot of times it just wasn't, it was nice to kind of know that stuff, but I didn't feel like it really added to the story as much, for it to be as heavily involved and heavily, you know, written about. So just for that purpose, I do rate it a 4 star, but I do recommend it. I think it's amazing. I think Savy's an amazing writer. It's the only thing I've actually read of hers, mainly because I know she writes a lot of children's books or whatever. I have some children, and I've thought about, you know, maybe getting some for them. I just haven't done it yet, but me personally, that's nothing I read. But, you know, that, and then some of her other books. I know she has Beauty Kings and Sculpture Self, and those just ain't, you know, they don't seem like it'd be my style. And just because the premise of this was supposed to be a teenager and an old lady going on this wild road trip, you know, I was like, oh yeah, I used to take road trips all the time, getting a bunch of mischief. This is gonna be fun. I kind of had that mentality going in, which is why I chose it. But I'm glad I did. I enjoyed it. If she writes more stuff kind of similar or something, I would be interested in reading more. The stuff that she already has out, I don't know if I really will, because it's just not my type. You know, not discrediting her or anything. I think she's an amazing writer. Like I said, I enjoyed it. You know, it felt natural. The dialogue felt natural. The characters were well developed, and all this. It's just not something that I'd be interested in, except, you know. But if she did write something I'd be interested in, then I would totally read something else from her. And like I said, I recommend One Final Vinyl for y'all to go check out and read. It was a good read. And, you know, if you're into that more nostalgic, young adult type books, then yeah, you'll enjoy it. That's the book review for One Final Vinyl by Savvy. I hope you enjoyed it. The links to go buy on Amazon is down below in the description, as well as all of my links are down below in the description. And yeah, just go check out down there. So catch y'all next week. Peace.